Hey kindergarten, it's Miss Corey and Mabel, and it's time for some phonics. And we were just talking right before this, saying, I wonder if our kindergartners would like to keep playing with phonics. Do you think so? Yeah, I think our kindergartners would love to keep playing with phonics. What's that, Mabel? Okie dokie, hokey mokey? Mabel, that's a great idea. I know what we could do so we could keep playing around with phonics. Okie dokie, hokey mokey, that's a poem. So today, kindergarten, we want to teach you that writing poetry is another way that we can play with phonics and play with our sounds. When writing rhyming poetry, writers use all they know about words and word parts to write poems that sound right and make sense. So today, sometimes poems rhyme and sometimes they don't, but we're going to really focus on poems that rhyme. And remember, something that rhymes sounds the same at the end. For example, mad and bad rhyme because they both have the add sound at the end. We use our word parts families for rhymes a lot. Okay, so one way we can write poetry is we think of a character. So we think of like a name, a person, a dog, an elephant, a pig, whatever you want. But we have a character, and then we think of what that character might do, okay? And that's how we start our poem. My character, I love the Pete the Cat books. Do you guys love the Pete the Cat books? Yeah, so I'm going to write about Pete, okay? Now, I then am going to think of words that rhyme with Pete. For my poem, I'm going to start by adding 2 words in front. You could add 2 or 3 or 4 words in front, but we're going to add some words at front so it sounds, so we have some snap words or easy words to write before. So I'm going to say, my poem's going to look like this. My pal Pete. So here's my poem. My pal Pete. Okay, and then I want to say something about Pete. He has 2, what does he have 2 of? 2 feet. Good job. And actually, Miss Corey wants to write this the other direction, so I have a little bit more room. Okay, so my pal Pete, he has 2 feet. Great job, kindergarten. So my pal Pete, he has 2 feet. And then I'm going to add, I hope you meet, I hope you what? I hope you meet. I hope you meet my pal Pete. Great job, kindergarten. So there's our poem. My pal Pete, he has 2 feet. I hope you meet my pal Pete. And if we notice all of these words at the end rhyme with Pete. Now, we did repeat the first line at the end, and that is something you can do with poetry, okay? But we always want to try to have as many different words that rhyme as we can when we are doing poetry. I want you to think right now, what other words can you think of that rhyme with eat, for Pete, eat? What other words can you think of that rhyme with eat? Just shout them out. Just shout them out. I'm going to erase this poem while you guys are coming up with those words. Very good, kindergarten. I heard so many good options. Okay? So some of the ones I heard were heat and beat and seat. Very good. So I heard heat and beat and seat. Can you now think of some words that rhyme with Pete that have a blend at the beginning? An example might be greet, has the grr at the beginning. Greet. Can you guys think of some more examples? with a blend at the beginning. There's so many good ones. Great job, kindergarten. I heard sweet and treat and cheat. Very good. Okay, so those are all words that rhyme with Pete. So could I go back and could I make my poem longer? Could I go back and make my poem longer now that I have more words? Yeah, so let's see my new poem. Let's see my new poem. Okay, so again, I want to start with my pal Pete, right? My pal Pete. He can't be beat. I love to greet. My pal Pete. Very good. So did I come up with a new poem? My pal Pete. He can't be beat. I love to greet my pal Pete. Yeah, and this time I used some new words like beat and greet. Again, I continued that first and the second line, the last line being the same, but do all poems look like that? No, poems are up to you and you can write them however you would like. So kindergarten, your job today is you're gonna get to create your own poem using your own character's name. Okay, so today your job will be to come up with a poem all on your own, 4 lines, just like what Miss Corey's been doing, where you get to rhyme at the end. And you want your rhymes to go with your friends, your friends' names or your character's name. Okay, we want to think of just a 1-syllable character name because those will be the easiest for us to come up with rhymes. Some names that we could use are Jill, okay, and have that ill ending, okay, that ill rhyming. We could do Chad. Oh, that was a wonky D. We could have Chad and have that ad ending, ad, okay. We could have Jack and have that ack ending, okay. We could have Pat and have that at ending, okay? So there are lots of different names you could come up with, but we want to stick to these simple 1-syllable names. And then your job is going to be to come up with your own poem, just like my pal Pete. Could you say my pal Jill or my sweet friend Jill? Whatever you want, it's your poem. We just want to make sure that those last words rhyme with our word. So Jill is such a thrill, or Chad does not like to be mad. Okay, so think of your own poems and I can't wait to read them. Mabel and I are so excited that we are now doing some poetry. We'll see you tomorrow. Have fun writing your own poems.